A new report by the Police Reform Organizing Project found that the vast majority of criminal prosecutions in the New York area consists of people of color. Now, for most people who've been paying attention to this issue, the response to this is obviously, but the numbers are incredibly stark and they divided them up based on boroughs. So just to give you some of these statistics, the racial breakdown in Manhattan was the starkest, with 93% of the people arraigned in criminal court being people of color. Every borough hovered around 90% people of color, though Brooklyn had by far the largest sample size. So let's take a little look at what's going on in Brooklyn. More than 85% of Brooklynites arraigned on criminal charges in the first 6 months of the year were people of color. Also, Police Reform Organizing Project observed 243 cases in Brooklyn's criminal court between January and June of this year, and found that only 14% of the cases involved white New Yorkers, despite the fact that white people make up roughly 40% of Brooklyn's population. Now, what I was curious about is, what are they being arraigned for? What are these criminal charges? Are they serious criminal charges? Do they actually end up getting convicted of serious felonies? Well, the most common charges against these defendants were assault in the 3rd degree, petty larceny, and possession of a controlled substance in the 7th degree.
How many degrees do they have?
And then a lot of them end up getting their charges dropped. In Brooklyn, 87% of the defendants observed were released after arraignment, compared to only 67% in Manhattan and 70% in Staten Island.
So prosecutors aren't dropping those charges because they're soft. They're dropping them because they're usually nonsense, and they're mainly done to harass people of color in that city. And look, it's worse in some other cities, and that's the battle that a progressive mayor has had with the cops. The cops say, "Oh my God, he's reining us in too much," and still you have 93% in some of the boroughs arrested are people of color. So look at the two of the top 3 reasons. Possession of narcotics. Okay, so if I went to Wall Street, do you think I could find narcotics?
Every day.
Okay, but they never go to Wall Street. They never stop and frisk them. They never bother them. They don't routinely go, hey, you in the suit. Okay, up against the wall, right? And so now, and the second charge was petty larceny. Go to Wall Street, you'll find a little bit more than petty larceny.
Yes.
I mean, look, guys, there's a lot I like about Mayor Bill de Blasio, and I know that even I don't think he went far enough in New York, but even so, the rich folks in Manhattan can't stand him. They're like, how dare he? We were stopping and frisking all those minorities that were bothering us by being minorities. And this guy comes in and doesn't just represent the rich, it bothers me. But I tell you, I don't think that he did enough, to be honest. And I like him, but look, I mean, these numbers are terrible. The cops have a certain culture, and you've got to break that culture of constantly targeting minorities. Imagine a progressive leadership for the cops. I know that seems unimaginable, but that goes in and goes, hey, we want to stop real crime? Well, good news. Manhattan has the worst crime in America. It's down on Wall Street, up against the wall. Okay, but if you did that, all the journalists would jump to the defense of the powerful and the rich. And the New York Times and the Wall Street Journal and everybody on cable news and Donnie Deutsch and Joe Scarborough, they'll all be like, oh my God, look at this, they're actually holding rich people accountable. This is barbaric. This is socialism.
This is doxing.
Yeah.
That's like the new thing. They just say that it's doxing when they don't like it.
So look, nobody's looking to target people that didn't do anything. But if you want to find crime in New York City, there's a lot of it. Just go to Wall Street. 2 easy ways to follow the Young Turks. One is hit the subscribe button down below, then you're a TYT subscriber. And second is ring the bell. And when you do that on YouTube, you're notified of our videos.